Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, and a welcome back as well to the North Norfolk coast. So I'm doing finally a second part of exploring North Norfolk. I have a feeling at this rate it's actually going to spin into next year as well. Now today we've actually come down to Holme Next to the Sea. So the last one was from Wells Next to the Sea, no, Next the Sea, not next to the sea, got to get that right. And today is Holme Next the Sea. And I'm going to let you in a little secret. Bank holiday weekend that's just gone. Mrs S and I came down to Old Hunstanton, walked all the way along the beach, come up to this part, and then walked all the way back to Old Hunstanton again. And I looked at it and went, that looks like a fantastic place for a bit of wildlife photography. Now, there is the Holme Next the Sea Norfolk Wildlife Trust area, but this is actually just the beach I've come down to. I didn't want to go to there and pay the entry fee and stuff, so I thought I'd just come down to the actual dunes and beach area that you can access from the Holme Next the Sea car park, and we'll do a bit of exploring. Now, I won't bore you too long, but basically I was supposed to be up here today and tomorrow. Plans have changed, but I've still come up here today for a couple of videos, and the weather has totally changed as well. At the start of the week it was showing it was supposed to be near 20 degrees and winds with gusts of about 20 mile an hour. It's now gusts of 33 mile an hour and highs of 13 degrees. So not exactly as planned, but we're still going to make the most of it. So I apologise now if at any point throughout this video the wind ends up coming down the mic. But yeah, let's go see what we can see. Okay, so we're actually not beachside just yet. So one thing that Holme Next the Sea has is, behind me you can see there's probably a bank around here. You probably can't see it very well. Just the other side of that is nothing but sand and sea. However, before you get to that point, once you pass the golf course from the car park, you end up with all this scrub, and it's a real haven for small birds. Now, there's a lot of noise at the moment, and I've seen a couple flit about in the air, but there's nothing close enough to me. Now, there's a couple of paths, oh, windy, just coming through this bit. I don't know if you can see them. So I'm gonna walk that way up to the beach, but then I'm gonna walk back, because if you keep walking down the path that I'm on now, basically you come to the end of the sand dunes, and then you can walk back along the beach, cut up there, head back to the car. But I really want to see if I can see any of these small birds in this scrubby bit here. So I want to make the most of actually being able just to cut through between them. One thing I forgot to mention as well is when I pulled up into the car park, there's some trees just around it. There's an area to park your car, some green land. Don't know why, it's just totally vacant, no benches or anything, and then you follow it through to the path, and just on that green bit was just a deer wandering around. So I whipped off some shots of that. I'll stick those up for you in a second, and I'm going to see if I can actually find any of these small birds that keep chattering away in all this scrub next to me. Whoa, I'll tell you what, I was actually wrong. So it wasn't just over that bank. I've just come over the bank and there's more of this scrub area. Beyond that is sea and sand. Now, maybe there's actually even more scrub just over this bit here. Fantastic. Anyway, I was walking through that cut, got chatting to a lovely lady and gentleman, and next thing I know, meadow pipit pops up. Brilliant. I finished chatting with them, managed to get a good shot of it. However, was quite far away, but it's made for a beautiful environmental shot, hopefully, if it's come out sharp enough. Wander over that ridge, following that bit of path, walk into this other, this area I'm in now, that's really quite scrubby, and there are loads of meadow pipits. Loads of them. Absolutely amazing. There you go, there's one just flew over my head now. I was literally watching 5 just flying around in the sky. Now the problem we've got is this wind. So when they're landing on the upper parts of the scrub, whatever kind of bush this is, the wind is blowing them around all over the place. When they're in flight, they're trying to fly and the wind is pushing them back, bless them. But yeah, it's making for some great opportunities. Now, that's 2 sets of photos that I've got already. As I say, I knew this would be quite a good place. The wind is going to be my issue today. It is dropping later, so hopefully the second video that I'm going to make from my trip up here this afternoon isn't going to be too bad. But we're going to go see if we can actually see anything else, or get any more fantastic pictures of some of those meadow pipits, because they are adorable. Okay, so I've just taken refuge behind a bush for the moment. Now I'm walking down the path in between the 2 different scrub areas, so you can see it behind me. Now the section in front of me, I've just been walking along monitoring, and managed to get some shots of skylark, which is always a lovely sight to see, and a redshank as well, but they're definitely environmental shots. Now, what I will say is that one of the reasons that this is a brilliant place for wildlife photography, or wildlife, sorry, I should say, and wildlife photography, can't do wildlife photography without wildlife, is that the tide has created kind of a gully, not really sure what to call it, but I just took some shots, some overlay video that I'll pop up now, and you'll see what I mean. It's not an estuary, for God's sake. I genuinely cannot think of the word. But because of that, it has this whole area sectioned off. And when Mrs. S and I came for our walk, they do have a whole section on the beach that is actually roped off as well, creating this habitat for the wildlife, which is absolutely fantastic, and means it gives us a nice spot to come down to. So yeah, so far so good. I would definitely recommend Holme Next The Sea for some wildlife photography. I mean, when you think we've got the meadow pipits, the skylarks, the redshank, and I've not even ventured onto the beach. I'm actually walking back along the same path that I came down on, because I want to focus on this area. There is a reason which I will discuss in a bit. So yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. Now, unfortunately, I'm not blessed with the weather as well, and I think there'd be a lot more opportunities for photography, and probably better photography as well, in better weather conditions. So yeah, I'm happy anyway. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm absolutely over the moon with how it's gone so far, and I've not actually even been here much over an hour. So yeah, happy days. So I'm going to keep walking. I'm going to stick up the picture of the skylark and the redshank now. Hopefully, if they've come out all right, that is, because of this wind. The other problem I've got as well is because of the wind, it keeps snatching the lens while I'm trying to focus on the birds and stuff. So yeah, it's a bit of a nightmare, but we shall soldier on. Okay, so I actually came all the way back along that area, walked past the entrance to the car park, and I'm now walking back towards the car park. Reason being is that when I was walking that way, I was walking into the wind. You can probably still hear it. It actually feels like it's getting stronger, even though it's supposed to be dying off. I've got the windy sniffles. And yes, as I was walking down here, had another encounter with a deer on one of the paths, which was absolutely lovely. I'm hoping the picture come out all right, and I'll stick that up for you in a minute. And I've come back into this area where there's all these scrubby bits and all these, hang on, thorn bushes and stuff. I don't know what they're called. I'm sure you guys will tell me if you've watched this far, but still loads of meadow pipits, but not as active as it was before. It's more a case of it's a lot quieter. And then as I'm walking along trying to spot some in the bushes, they fly up and disappear off. So I'm not picking up on the sound. So I don't know if that's because of the weather, the time of day, or what, but that wind is relentless. Now, I'm going to make my way back to the car. I don't know if I'll see any more pictures, but I'll come back and sign out once I'm back near the car, because that wind is getting worse, and I also just had spots of rain as well. And I'll stick up any pictures that I've had of the meadow pipits just now, any that I get on the way back to the car, and also that deer. So yeah, stick with us, check this load of pictures out, and yeah, I'll come back and sign out in a minute. Okay, so almost back at the car now. I'm actually on that green area where we saw the deer originally. It's very bumpy, so I'm just literally having a slow bimble while I talk to you guys. So, quick summary then of what I think of Holme Next The Sea. Now, first of all, again, we didn't come to the Norfolk Wildlife Trust, NWT, Home Dunes area. We've literally just come to Holme Next The Sea, the car park there, the beach car park, to actually explore what you can get to. So obviously if you want to go to the NWT place and support them as well, that's absolutely fine. But what do I think of Holme Next The Sea then? I love it. So while today hasn't been the most successful, probably because of the weather, seeing the meadow pipits was absolutely awesome. We've had the skylarks, the redshank, I've seen shelducks as well. They were in the distance and in flight. And when, I say a few weeks ago, when Mrs. S and I came down on the last bank holiday, we saw the shelducks. And what was the other thing I saw? Oh, I believe a few sandlings as well. Very small birds, skittish, running along the sand. As well as other birds. Now, I've also heard other calls today as well, which is absolutely awesome. But what I would say is, if you were going to come down to Holme Next The Sea for some wildlife photography, make a half day of it if the weather is nice. There is so much to see here. As I say, I didn't actually go onto the sand and beach area purely because I'm heading to a different location where that will be more prominent, more applicable. But you can literally walk down the dunes, walk back along the beach, probably cut back in, walk back through the scrub and dunes again. You cross back over, you've got all that rest of that scrub. You've got so much. So if you've got great weather, this is a fantastic place to come. Now this car park as well, it was, I'm almost actually at the pay machine. The car park itself, I paid £5 for 4 hours, up to 4 hours, which I don't think is actually that bad when you consider the price of parking in places like this. Cost is between, I think, 9 and 6. I'm literally just heading to the pay machine now. There's the car. Parking 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m, up to 2 hours, £3, up to 4 hours, £5, all day until 6 p.m, £7. You could make a whole day of this, and it would just be absolutely fantastic. You wouldn't run out of things to photograph. You may photograph the same bird a lot. It's brilliant for environmental shots as well. And yeah, actually I don't think that's that bad. However, if you actually come down in June, when sunset is like 9:30 or whatever time the longest day is and stuff, come down after 6 o'clock and you've got yourself a good 3.5 hours of light here because of the way the sun actually sets over the North Norfolk coast. Little bonus tip for you there, free parking and all. So anyway, I'm going to sign out. That's how I'm back at the car. So obviously if you like the video, give us the old thumbs up, drop some subscribes from the bottom if you don't already, hit that notification bell to stay up to date with our weekly videos. And all that's left for me to say then is this is Mike out. Take care and be safe everyone. Peace.